It is today's live on Equa Television Africa, and what do I have to say this morning? I've missed you. I've been on the show the last time I was on the show was Thursday last week, until the exigencies of office called for my attention somewhere else, and today, boom, I'm on TV. How have you been? It's a blessing to have you watching today's live on Equa Television Africa. My name is Tony J. Nakale. I have Sele Elisha Dashram and Joyce Iakwari, and we thank you for joining us this morning. How are you doing?
Morning.
I like your hair.
Thank you.
You're always bubbling on this show. I like your smartwatch.
Thank you.
Don't mind us. We're a family here. We like to stroke each other once in a while. And today the topic is very important. Is very apt, and it's wonderful we bring it to you. What is the topic, Victor? Can you put it on the screen? Familiarity is what we're talking about, and if you can see it right there, Victor made it in capital letters so that you don't miss anything. Familiarity. What does familiarity mean?
Familiarity is getting too used to something.
Familiarity
is intimacy and is knowing someone very well.
Great. So we're going to talk about two sides of familiarity. When you have a car, you can be familiar with its troubles. You can be familiar with its performance. You can be familiar with, and when you have a house, you're familiar with where everything is. Yes. When light is out, you can just struggle your way through, where everything is kept and all of that. But we're going to look at the negativity also of familiarity, maybe later in the show. So let's look at familiarity. We have all given a preamble to what familiarity is, but let's look at familiarity from the positive side. It is important to get to know what it is that you have, what you possess, what is yours. It's important. It's important because if you know it, you know how to take care of it, you know how to deal with it, you know how to love it, you know how to cherish it, you just know what to do with it, right? So when you know something, you know how to take care of it. When you know something, you know how to deal with it. So what can we say are the positive terms of familiarity?
The positive terms are intimacy. They are knowledge of something, like deep knowledge of something or someone, and it goes in line with I would even say friendship, like knowing someone deeply, knowing everything about the person, being with the person, like being friends with the person. That's if it is human now. Being friends with the person, knowing everything, you can even feel how the person is feeling because you are too familiar with the person. You even know in a situation how the other person will act because you are familiar with this person already. You know the person like back to back. Then if it is in maybe things, not living things, same thing. No, not friendship now, more like knowing the activities of those things or knowing how that thing behaves, how it is, how if you put it in a certain way, how it will function differently, how you handle it differently, and how it will function. So that's how you can, describe it in both human and non-living things.
Yeah, and I think the positive side of familiarity also has to do when you will know when to relate with the thing, the do's and don'ts of the person or the place. If you're familiar with the person, you know what the person likes, when to relate to the person, when to just let the person be, because you're familiar with this person, so almost everything about the person. You tend to even know the person's routine. So when you want to maybe say something or you want to check on the person, you actually know, okay, this is how this person's routine is, so I'll be able to relate with it. And then let's even look at it at work. When you're familiar, you know that this is your responsibility. You know what is expected of you at that point in time because you are familiar with your role that has been given to you at a point in time. So you tend to even examine it because you're familiar with it. What can I do to improve in this certain aspect of my life? Because I'm familiar with it, so I should know that I should not just be, normal. Because I'm familiar with it, I should know what to do at a particular point in time. So I think it's good that we get familiar with almost everything that we do on a day-to-day basis, because we tend to know what to do not to hamper with the relationship, or what to do to be able to improve if it is the place of work, your organization. So when you're familiar with things, you know the do's and don'ts.
Well, Joyce, what is one thing that you are most familiar with in life?
One thing that I'm most familiar with, maybe work.
Sele.
Say family.
Family. Okay. Why are you in love with work to the extent that you got so familiar with it?
Is something that I do every day of my life, and it's part of my career building. It's not just coming to work. Even when I'm at home, I believe that I still work because it's part of my daily life. Like I can my interest can be pricked in so many ways. Like I can put on the television station and a program might be on air. It's not like I'm listening to what they are saying, but maybe I'm checking some things that I know I'm familiar with, or things that I know that, okay, this is part of my career, and I can easily say this is wrong or this is right. Oh, wow, they are doing it this way. It doesn't even matter what they are talking about. Or I would like to look at the presenters, like why are they sitting this way? Like the technicality, involved in the production. That's what I seem to look at. And if you ask me, that's me being familiar with my work, that I can easily analyze it, anywhere I go, or I can easily analyze it when I see things similar to my own industry, that's to my own outfits. That's why I said work. And there are times that, okay, you can even see a new face in the industry, and you try to, okay, you can measure the person's intelligence or the person's knowledge and experience. You definitely know, okay, this one is new. Oh no, this one is like a boss in this industry. Or even if the boss that everybody looks at messes up at some particular time, you know that no, this is wrong. Like, okay, let me give you an example. Last week there was something that went viral, where a certain host on the show was talking to a reporter. He's an older person, and the reporter was referring to him like his first name. When in reporting, she referred to his first name, and he got offended that he said mannerless children or something like that, that you are so in love with my name as if you were there during my naming. It was wrong, and it wasn't professional at all. Like, there's nothing wrong in her referring to that. And even if he didn't like it, I think there will be more trainings or whatsoever when she comes back to the station. But you see, that I'm so familiar with it that I can pick that this is wrong, because I went to the comment section and so many people were reacting differently. This person is supposed to be like your father, you are supposed to put. Then someone was like, she should have put ancestor, this person or uncle, this person. They're on TV, for Christ's sake. Like, you can drop some things if it's TV, because it's professionalism. Except when it's not like a practice. Maybe even in the church, even faith-based, there are times that it's needed that you'll be professional. So you see, I'm so familiar with it that I know, okay, I can easily talk about it, and when people are arguing, I will tell you, no, this is what is obtainable. So what is obtainable globally is what is even obtainable, in your certain practice. So I am familiar with it like that. Like that, I think that's why I picked work. There are some certain things that I might not have the knowledge or not too familiar with. Like, I can't tell you about friendship. I can't tell you, like, okay, these are the things obtainable or these are the things required, and the rest I will mess up in some things because I don't come out strong in it, and I have some weaknesses that sometimes I tend to shield some parts of me being familiar with things.
People get so familiar with like, from what you're saying, people get familiar with others according them respect to the extent they don't care how else things are done. When someone says, let me establish the protocols in an event. Once he says, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, the president of XYZ is here, Professor this. That is a protocol. It has been established. The next thing, when you come, you don't have to greet.
Yeah.
When people say they stand on existing protocols, they don't know what it means. If they say, Engineer Tony Nakale, the general manager of Equa Television, is here, any other person that comes should just say Tony Nakale and go on. That's how that protocol has been established. My name was said and the title in full and the position. Engineer Tony J. Nakale, GM Equa TV, Miss Martha Issa, Director of Photography, Equa TV. Any other person that should come up should just say, like Tony Nakale said earlier, like Martha Issa said earlier. You don't say like Engineer Tony J. Nakale, the GM of Equa TV, said earlier. The protocol has been established. From the beginning of that interview, maybe she might have said, I am here with Professor this, of this, he was a one-time this and this and this. Protocol has been established. But people get so familiar with that respect thing that once it was said from the beginning, it should continue throughout. Yeah, no wonder somebody said they should have said ancestor. So why are you so glued to family to the extent that you are familiar with family?
I'm so glued to family because
You're a family person.
I'm a family person, reason because
Obviously.
just like Joyce said.
I remember a joke that somebody was robbed and then they said he should bring his gold tooth. And then he said, this gold tooth has been in the family for donkey years. My grandfather used it, passed it on, and now it's on me and you are robbing me. And then the thief collected it, I was leaving. He said, it is a family tooth. And when the thief was leaving with it, he said, it's a family tooth. So he's a family person. Let's listen to the family person.
Well,
Le person, le family. Okay, you don't speak French. Go ahead.
reason
Do you
why
speak French?
not really, just the basic good morning, good afternoon.
Okay, so if I speak French, now you understand. Do you speak French?
Little.
Okay.
So reason
Oh,
why
I was thinking you would speak so that I will respond.
No, she doesn't understand. Le continuer le français.
okay.
Le anglais.
Reason why I said
Joyce, I'll drive you from this show. So let's continue.
reason why I said I'm familiar with family and I got so glued is because apart from work, family is the next like closely place I spend my time
No,
with.
apart from family, work is next.
Yes.
You say apart from work, family.
Yes. So
It's
those are
apart
these
It's
are
as if
family.
you're putting the work there, family. So yours is family, the work, right?
family then work. The reason why I said that is because, like Joyce said earlier, I'm not familiar with
Ancestor
friends,
Joyce.
like friendship. So
She just corrected me.
I when I'm
Hear me, Ancestor Joyce.
okay,
Please
I
go
got your
ahead.
point. So the reason why I said that is because apart from family, I said like work is the next place, and I'm not so familiar with friendship. So when I'm hurt or when anything happens to me, I hardly have anybody else to turn to. Family is the only place I get to like relate with, and then when I see maybe other people doing something different that I know this is not how a family is supposed to operate, or this is not how a family is supposed to be, I tend to pick on it and tend to like, either I'm criticizing them for one thing or the other because I've got so familiar to know that this is what is expected, this is the role of who a father should be, who a mother should be, how siblings should be, how family are supposed to be closely kitted, what is expected of them at the end of the day. So it's at the point, it tends to even shape the way I see society entirely. It shapes the way I see everything that I do. Why? Because I got so familiar with how family is. So it tends to be everything about me. So if you tend to see me, people tend to say when I talk like a mother. Why? Because I got so familiar with the way family is. So I tend to even relate with people in that same way. You could see it from my speech, my behavior, and everything that so much of this girl is either she's always at home or relating with people who are much elderly. So it just plays in almost everything I do. So that's what I actually said, family.
Okay. Now, I know the the B part of what we are considering is going to be longer. So maybe we should start considering it now. Familiarity, they say, breeds contempt. What does that mean?
It means
We are meandering through the B part of the conversation now.
my own understanding, it means that it will get to a point where you won't appreciate the things that you have or the people that you have because you are so familiar with them that you are now so regular with them that you don't even take them in high esteem. You don't even appreciate what they bring to the table. You don't appreciate them even in your life. That's if you're talking about people. Then if it's about work too, same thing. Like your approach to it is the same since the day you started till the middle of your career, till even retirement, because you're so familiar with it that you feel anything that is coming up, even new challenges, you know, there's the same approach that you always give it because you already know that, okay, this is how it's supposed to, or this is how it will be. Then, you know, you are just like regular with it, even when dealing with certain things like people, let's say even in relationship where you're so familiar. Imagine the beginning of relationship where things excite you, even the bare minimum when it's offered to you is like, wow, this person is like going out of his way or going out of her way, like I really like it here, it's a safe place for me. Then it becomes like regular, that person is always doing that same thing, and you know, you start thinking, okay, there's no upgrade to that. Like, okay, it's now, I'm so familiar with this that it's not even new. Like the things that used to trip me before, these are the things that this person is still doing, but it doesn't really trip me because I'm so familiar with it and there's nothing new. And sometimes you hear people saying they want excitement in their life, they want something different, they want, you know, that bubble back in their life because they've gotten so familiar with it that they are so regular with everything.
Yeah. And to me, when we say familiarity actually breeds contempt, to me, I think familiarity brings about taking things for granted. When you're familiar with someone, like so familiar, you quit even seeing, respecting the person or respecting the thing. When you get too familiar with the person,
I'm more in the street than you are. Go ahead.
you get to, you just tend to, you know, underrate the person because you just feel you already have a first-hand information. That's what you think you have. You just feel you already know everything that is to know about the person. You don't even want to explore and know more that this person or this thing has to offer you. So you just tend to be so, I think, operating on a very average level with that person or with that thing. So much you're supposed to have gotten from that person or from that thing, you miss out on it. And that's why we said it's a breeding ground because you just tend to be so relaxed about things. Even your relationship at a point gets even affected because you don't even regard that thing anymore. So I think this is really something that it's a spirit that we really need to fight it so much because it is eating us in the church. Even when it comes to our devotion, you just felt you already know this Bible passage. After all, it's John 3:16. We've been taught that, and then you miss out that there are certain revelation that you actually get from it if actually you take your time and study it carefully. So I think, and it plays out in almost every aspect of our life, that spirit of getting familiar to something and you don't want to know more or respect that thing further.
Okay. Disrespect, dishonesty, negative energy or negativity towards someone that you once respect. First, I said is what? Disrespect. For you to disrespect someone, you have respected them before. Disrespect can come outrightly even when you don't know someone. But that is you to the person. For you to consider something or someone being disrespectful, that means you have what respect means to you. Somebody can drive car, pass you, and then the car splashes water on you. Seller can just do this and, this road, they should fix it and pass. You've not even say anything about it. But you, it happened to you. You can curse out like, what's wrong with this man? This is disrespectful, blah, blah. The man doesn't even know you. Maybe his glasses are even up, everything. He can't even know. He just cruised past maybe a little pond and then boom, water on you. You see, when we talk about disrespect, where is it coming from? For someone to be disrespectful, it was intended. In most cases, maybe 99.9 is intended. Because you cannot just wake up and say, Joyce, get out of the way. Why are you seated this way? And then you said it with every seriousness. And then Joyce doesn't take offense. She will. Why? Because you disrespected her. Maybe you are not even close to her standard in life, in everything in life, but you said that to her. If I say that to her, she can feel bad. She may not see it as being disrespectful, feel bad. The GM treated me not nice, and she might walk out. She might not talk about it. She might not pick it up with me, but if it's you, if it's someone else, she might pick it up with the person. So disrespect is most of the time intentional. Disrespect is most of the time intentional. Why would I say so? You were given employment to work in Echo Television. The first moment you came, okay, Sele, right? Martha, right? Wonderful. Mr. Moses Ija, wow. Victor Bande. Okay, Victor Bande. Are you related to Panam Bande? No. Okay. We see her on TV. And you are all nice. We said work is 8. You are resuming 7:30. At least for the first 1-2 weeks. Or before you got your first salary. You met everybody. You are so happy being in that environment. It's a dream come true. You know, people don't know the reality of what transpires in Equa Television until they join us. This is how this thing is. See? So before long, maybe Joyce Yakwari just said, let's go and have lunch together. And then you went, and she's like, wow, I love this restaurant. And Joyce Yakwari is somebody you are supposed to work under somebody that is working under her. And then tomorrow Moses is driving home and he sees you and come in now. And then his car, you are in his car, he's playing music. You are like, So you listen to secular songs too. Wow, this is my favorite track. You start dancing, you even increase volume. In his car. You understand?
Yeah.
And then the next day, Hassan is taking you home. Maybe Moses is gone. You just this few the niceness towards you got you entitled, made you entitled, and then suddenly you are like, Moses, try and go home today without carrying me. You see what will happen. Hasino is gone, so he left without me. We'll meet tomorrow. I will show him Pepe. Do you know people do that a lot?
A lot.
Why? You have become familiar with the person. Even if you are in the same rank, you didn't buy the car for him. Even if you bought the car for him, you didn't buy the fuel for him. Do you understand what I'm saying? So people build that spirit of familiarity. Some people think it's just a joke. I'm just joking. I just jokingly said that. It's not a joke. You meant it. Do you understand? This is what happened. I was working in Lagos, and then I was living in, like working in Abuja and living in Nasarawa State. So I was living in Ogun State and I was working in Lagos. And then there were times that once in a while there was this lady living close to my estate. And then when I would go home, I would say, please ask, is Ola close? Just call her, let's go, she's ready. Oh, thank you, Brad Tony. She would just hop in and we'll go home. I'll drop her off. Sometimes I go out of my way to follow on that road so that I can stop in her estate gate before going home. We traveled for work in Benin for a week. We got back and then I continued going home without her. This lady stopped answering my greetings. So someone met me and said, you have offended this lady. I said, how exactly? You know, you people live in the same area. Her estate is just like 2 estates away from yours and all of that. And I was like, okay. Well, I remember when the company gave me this car, her name was not in it. And when I struggled to buy the fuel, like, what do you mean, you that is telling me? What do you mean? You live further than us. Why won't you be picking her? And you have a car too. So when I met her, she thought I was going to say, sorry. I said, don't try this nonsense with me again. That's what I said. I said, have you ever paid me for once? Sometimes it will be raining. You know how it rains in Lagos. She'll be like, but Tony, so you drop me here now. No, I'll take you in. I'll take her in because it's raining. And then by her gate, her security will open the gate and I go home. But she got familiar with the favor and the person rendering it. Mm-hmm. In most cases, we do that. We even get familiar with God. Mm. Before you know it, you will have a negative what?
Approach.
No, you have a negative attitude towards God because you have become familiar with it. You'll be disrespectful to God. You'll be dishonest to God. Anytime somebody gets familiar with you, these are the 3 attributes they will show.
Dishonor you.
These are the 3 attributes. So most of the time, check it. When people get familiar with you, the first thing they will do, they will disrespect you. They would not see it as disrespect. You know, when somebody disrespects you, if you talk to the person, they can stop. That's if they feel they are disrespectful. Yes. But if they feel there is nothing wrong with disrespecting you, there is no hope for them changing. There is nothing as terrible as not seeing anything wrong with what you do. Today, that is what is wrong with people, especially people our age. Young people. Young people don't see anything wrong with what they are doing. It's difficult to help somebody who doesn't see anything wrong with what they do. Very, very difficult to see. Okay. Sele, why do you talk to me this way? What's wrong with talking to you that way? Because I said, good morning, Tony. What's there? You see, people tell you that. And then when they leave, they meet other people. They say, see this Tony, because I said good morning, Tony, he's angry. What's wrong with that man? That man and his wahala self.
He likes respect.
He likes respect. Who doesn't like respect? Everybody. What are we saying?
You say anything. Sometimes you just have to, let's say, affirm to something that is negative and it to be taken that way. It's more like, okay, in a situation where I'm so familiar maybe with Sele, and Sele maybe is clearly not my age mate and is clearly not someone that works in the same cadre with me, like the same level with me. I'm expected to work under her, I'm expected to respect her, I'm expected to, in short, if you are working under somebody, it means you have to respect the person. You have to respect the person's position, respect everything about the person. You see now, if for example, she gives me duties to do and I don't even deliver. She gives me things to do and I don't even deliver. I come up with excuses. I'm being dishonest in my act because I've already promised, or even the company already confirmed that, okay, I can deliver at the end of the day. But if I'm not delivering, that's me being dishonest in my own part because I'm not keeping up to what I said I am capable of. I've said, okay, I work under pressure. I work with minimal supervision, and Sele has to supervise me in every step I take. I'm being dishonest dishonest. And sometimes I can come up with silly excuses that don't even make sense, or I can even lie, connected it with lies now. Lie to her face that, okay, this is how it is, and it's wrong at the end of the day. So dishonesty goes a long way, even in shielding things that you feel, okay, you might be punished about them at the end of the day, or covering some things, or covering even your inability to deliver, on some project. And even if it's not work, it like Stella said, her familiarity is in family, sometimes even in family, sometimes even in friendship, sometimes even in dealing with people. People tend to be dishonest in such acts.
I think, to me, dishonesty, especially when it comes to work, it's something that is eating us deeply, because we tend to look at it from a different point of view, but it goes a long way to even our attitude towards certain things. It shows that you're dishonest on things. You rightly mentioned that you can only change when you realize that there's something wrong. And when we fail to realize that something is wrong, then we're already on our highway to the grave. Because it's important that we realize that this is something that it's plain in almost everything, especially with youths. We tend to feel that there are certain things that we should get, like there are certain way we should behave. Now, why did I say dishonesty? I remember there was someone that was older than me, a colleague at work, and the person was like, I want to be close to you. Why won't you be friends with me? And I actually knew what getting very close will actually do. I don't want to get to the point of no return where I just look at you and then I don't value what you say. I don't value who you are. I disrespect. I would become very dishonest to you. I want to still have that respect and fear. Not really fear when I see you, I'm scared, but fear in terms that when you give me something, I place it in a very high value, that I know that this thing is of optimal importance, that I should do it. So personally, to me, I felt I don't want to be dishonest to this person. So when I realize I'm getting close, I pull back. If it means me not even maybe taking a ride from you, I don't. Because I don't want to get to that point that I feel, okay, we are now age mates, we can now relate and behave. No, I want to still have that respect for you. I have placed you up there, and I don't want it to get to the point that, because sometimes I might actually be dishonest to you, and I won't know that I've gotten to that point because I just felt that it's a right to me. I want to still see you in that same position, that I will still respect you. Anywhere I see you, I won't say anything ill about you. So I feel dishonesty, especially when it comes to getting familiar with people, it's something that's eating us deep. And if we realize that it's a problem we need to handle, then we'll do away with it.
If I may add to what Sele said, yesterday he said something that I picked and I've been thinking on it. He said, someone that doesn't have integrity, even unbelievers will not trust the person. It's very deep. It shows that integrity is very important, even in dealing with people, even you as a personality, having it as a personality, having it, living it, eating it, sleeping it, and everything. Because if you have that, I think even when you are close to someone and you have that integrity, you have that even self-respect, there is a tendencies that that, okay, I'm getting so over familiar with this person. No, I should, I tend to talk to myself. I tend to calm down about it. I tend to, even if this person is all out joking with me, this is a person I respect, but he's always playing with me, joking, I should know that there are boundaries, because definitely I'll offend the person in a way that even he might not tell me. My favorite people are people that know that, okay, everyone deserves respect, and you should not dishonor someone because you feel you are so familiar with the person right now. We relate mostly at work and at home, friendship and all. There are times that you might tend to, okay, do you know what? I think I'm too tough or I'm too difficult. Let me just play around, say some jokes. Before you know, when you start doing that, you have your self-respect, but when you start doing that, people will start dishonoring you, not even disrespecting you. It's very easy to disrespect, like, at least you can even see it and know that, okay, this person is disrespecting me, you'll be offended. But when they start dishonoring you, they won't be listening to you. That's where this friendship can break. Even a work environment can become toxic because of dishonor. There is nothing you will say or no instructions you will give that the person will do because he is dishonoring you. Like I said, it's better to be disrespected. At least the person will feel, I have disrespected this person, let me, you know, mind my ways, let me do something different. But you see, that dishonor is very deep, that someone that is your subordinate will start looking at you like, okay, I have more sense than this person. Why is this person even, you know, telling me what to do? Even if the person is telling you the wrong thing to do, do it first. Do it first, because you have to obey. That is your superior. You obey. You don't. In short, you don't have a say when the person is saying, the person is giving you instructions, because definitely he takes instruction too from somebody. Definitely there is a chain. But when you start trying to do it your own way, and this is how we've always done it, or whatsoever, you don't have integrity as a person. And like you said, even unbelievers will not trust you. And you know, these characters, they don't just stay in a particular place, like, okay, workplace or just relationship. It goes out, like places that you'll be surprised. Because, okay, there's one day, maybe for instance, you might go on, let me use production now, you might go on a production. Definitely people are there, maybe you're setting up and your boss is telling you, no, don't do that, do this first. And you're, you know, or you just do yimo to one of your friends, or you do something, or you don't even do it at all. You already, you know, I too know thing that we always have, because we are so familiar with things that we tend to know too much of that thing, and we take another approach. You are already dishonoring. People are seeing, there's one person that might even, you might even draw his attention to your act, and the person will be like, no, this person, no, this person doesn't have integrity, the person doesn't even have respect. I've always seen this person as, you know, this respectful. The person is like that. No, you know, we tend to, it shows, is something that you cannot hide.
Exactly.
You know, when we talk about familiarity, when people start getting there's nothing wrong with getting familiar. Everybody is familiar with me, and I'm familiar with everybody, working by nature of working together. Now, I become too familiar. That's where the problem is. When you become too familiar. We have said that it will breed disrespect. It will breed dishonesty and negative energy. But you know what, Joyce? Communication is not just words. Communication is not just words. Communication is not just in words. Communication is means of interaction. Communication is means of interaction. When people start building disrespectful communication habits towards you, they are telling you that they are overly familiar with you. You know, there are people you can tell, please, the GM just finished drinking something in that cup. Just take it and wash it. See, they just do that. They don't care whether you see it or not. They have built this terrible, you know, communication habit. Is a negative communication habit. They show it to you. They don't have to come and say, sir, or ma, my work is not washing cups. Your work is not washing cups. You are just asked to do it. You are just asked to do it.
They might even tell you, I will do it later. I want to do something else.
No, it's not I want to. I am doing something else. You see, leaders in leadership position, they can never see things through the eyes of the follower. The follower can never see things through the eyes of the leader. The responsibility is to lead. The response to that responsibility is to follow. Look at the name, follower. So when you start looking at the person that is leading, when you start concentrating on how he coughs, how he talks, he eats. You know, you start getting close to the person. You say, so this gem that we are seeing on TV, that's how he eats. Close your mouth now, haba. So this gem, that's how he, because you have been exposed by virtue of work to some things that are personal about him. You felt it is now right. It is now a right? To be in the. So you will generate this character of haba. We used to play on the GM's chair. When we go to his house, we used to do. The GM is our person now. No, you will not be angry about this. Last time now, GS was traveling to Kaduna. He joined the GS car. He was listening to this music. You are familiar. We are talking about the negative familiarity. I remember there was a time that the ECWA president was traveling somewhere and we attached a cameraman to follow him. We were at a conference. So we attached a cameraman to follow him to Bauchi from Jos, from that conference ground. Immediately, we said, join, sir, we want this staff to join you to go and take footages of what you're going. He said, it's fine. I was calling on the staff. The staff came. I didn't know that the ECWA president had left the back seat and he came to the front seat and sat. He said the person should sit. I said, no, sir. I said, your wife is even coming with you. That's the reason why. He said, oh, okay, I forgot. He now went back and sat with his wife. Okay, imagine that our staff went and came back and started saying, hey, that's how he used to enjoy that chair. AC everywhere. These people are enjoying, He has become familiar with what? With his employer.
Now, how do we tend to break the spirit? Because sometimes...
What happened in Gombe? I was anchoring a program. The deputy governor was there. The ECWA president was there. And then I was making a joke and I said, I will call on our deputy governor. I said His Excellency. Then I said Reverend. He's not a reverend. I said Reverend. And then I called his name. I said Reverend Manasseh Daniel Jato. I have just given you an honorary reverend and all of that. And when he came to talk, he now said, because I'm not ordained yet as a reverend, I will not use the pulpit. So I will stand here. He told me, and we laughed. And then he now said, let me tell you what I told my former friend. And he said it. Now, what did he say later? He said, you are putting me in trouble, calling me reverend before my employer. Because he's a lecturer in Bingham University. If he was familiar with the ECWA president, he said, I'm deputy governor now, he's just ECWA president. He wouldn't call him his employer. He said, Tony, I respect this man. He's still my employer. I'm still a lecturer with Bingham University. Now, some people that are very familiar will be like, even though I was lecturer, but I'm deputy governor. And see, so what is the point there? Anywhere you find yourself, be humble. I think you are trying to ask a question. How can we avoid being familiar with people? What is between you and Joyce Iakwari?
What is between you?
Yes, in ECWA TV.
Okay, I work under her.
Now, what about her do you take?
Instructions from her.
And what do you do with it?
I put it to work.
Do you consider how she walks?
No.
Do you consider how she talks?
No.
Do you consider the food she eats?
No.
Do you consider her behavior? No. Do you consider her attitude outside work? No. You have just stayed away from being familiar with her. When you start considering these things, when you start considering this is what they said about her, when you start considering things she does that are personal, it will get in the way of your respect.
Okay, the reason why I asked is...
There should be a focus, Sele, on why am I attached to this person? If you can regularly answer this question, you stay out of trouble. If you can stay, you will stay out of trouble. Do you understand my point? But when you start thinking, let me even find out, what does she like? What does she do? What is her this? What is her that? It's personal. When she gets to let you know, when you get to find out, you'll be like, so she has a poor taste. She's wearing red smartwatch. That's why she's doing this. And then you start seeing personal things about her. You start disrespecting her. Do you understand? It's terrible. It's terrible. You have become familiar with what you should have kept at the level of just work. We have social media comments. We have Habila. Oh, Habila. Food for thought. Wow, what you said about protocol consideration is mind-blowing, Satoni Nakali. I will never be the same. We have another comment. We have Emmanuel OG Aye. Yeah, sometimes he started with yeah. Yeah, sometimes when you know how a person is, you become familiar. Like some Black Africa people, they will always hate and gossip, and it's normal though. Yeah, I think these are just the comments we have. All right. So, final words.
Okay, for me personally,
You can take 2 minutes.
okay, for me personally, I feel familiarism is a very terrible spirit that is eating us both from our personal lives down to everything we do. So we should try as much as possible to avoid things, avoid places, avoid situations that will even make you get so familiar to someone, especially, and then you tend to lose regard. I said it earlier on, you miss the wonder, you miss the anointing, you miss the blessing that is attached to this thing or to this person. So let's try. It's human for you to say you get familiar with things, but you can work on it and be a better person.
For me, this is what I will have to say. And I'll talk for my personality. People tend to say I am difficult, I am this and that, but I have reasons for that, and this is one.
Joyce, sorry, let me call. When people say you are difficult, they went into a part of you that they have no reason being there. You just went to find out what you have no business finding out. You are the one that will get hurt at the end. This is how you are. So deal with me based on what brought you to my life. It's easy, sir. When people just complicate issues for, you are just sitting down. Okay, this Ladidi doesn't greet people. And she's a very nice person. And she's a very nice person in real sense. This Ladidi, she's this way, she behaves this way. Why do you want to complain? Why are you complaining? Is it because you want to be in her life? If it's because you want to be in her life that you are complaining, okay, you have found out that she's this way. Quit wanting to be in her life. Look for another life that greets for a living and be there. Look for another. It's true, Joyce. It's true. Some people want to be related to Sele by force. Huh? You came and found out Sele is this way and I'm not cool with it. Try Joyce. If she's worse, try Tosin. If she's okay, stay there. And don't complain about Sele and Joyce. Because, see, like begats like. What you like, you see in me, that's what you like. What I like is what you like. We can parley. Pastors don't make friends with drunkards. Lawyers don't make friends with criminals. They can't. They are always at far opposite ends. You want to be in somebody's life, but you say, I have noticed this is how this person is. Since you have noticed, it is a sign that you can't live there. The house doesn't have a roof. You want to pay the rent. Why? You leave. You look for a house that is roofed. You look for a house that is roofed so that you can be comfortable living there. Aren't there people that you have tried friending? It became impossible till you left. Aren't there people that you became friends with till today you are friends? Why? Compatibility. You see? So if people are saying that, I like this girl, but she's full of herself, that's the reason why you should stop liking her.
Very true.
That's the reason why you should start looking for somebody that is not full of himself. I like this girl, this Ladidi, but she's arrogant. Look for Martha that is not arrogant. The day that you find out that Martha is a thief, you prefer an arrogant person. It's true.
Very true.
So don't go and settle for something by force. You will become familiar and you start disrespecting something that you once loved with the whole of your life.
And it's true. And you know, sometimes some people like to crack into your life so that they can see what to disrespect you about or to dishonor you about. I've learned that secret in a very long time, and I decided, no, I will groom myself to be a certain way. Let me be deliberate with people that I allow in my life. The way I relate with Stella is definitely different from the way I relate with you, because based on observation, I know, okay, maybe Stella has some tendencies to disrespect me, or some tendencies, you know, if she gets familiar with me, she will stop listening to what I will even tell her as an instruction based on work, and it will even sabotage our own working environment, or even sabotage the work that I will give her based on her working with me, then different from you. You see, there are ways that you have to observe, and this is one thing with me that when sometimes when I talk to myself, okay, let me just chill, I think this person wants to get close to me, or one thing or the other, I tend to, okay, let me open up a little, you know, to this particular person. And the funny thing is that people don't know that when you open up, they feel, okay, you've opened up everything. No, there are so many other things that you are shielding, because you don't want to be vulnerable, you don't want to be easily broken. You have to guard your heart. When they start coming in, they start seeing you differently, or they start seeing some type of way, or because you laugh or you play, and they start disrespecting you or dishonoring you or getting so familiar. When I realize things like that, immediately I cut off, immediately, because where is my own solitude is with me, myself. Like, I trust myself more than I even trust the other person, because I know that no matter how I disrespect myself, I will definitely apologize to myself and try to see how I will upgrade from what I used to be to where I'm going to, or whatever it is I want in life. But people are not like that. People will come disrespect you, and they won't stop at disrespecting you. They will mobilize other people to come and disrespect you, dishonor you. And even with jokes, there are jokes that they will start dropping, you know, and you'll be wondering, this person doesn't know that, you know. And when you tend to do some things like that, they will say this person like respect, or this person is hard. I think it's better for me to be described as being hard, you know, than to be described some funny type of way, because maybe you saw some things that you judged, you know, differently, or you even misjudge, and you tend to take it out and tell people. Over familiarity, or familiarity in its sense, when it's so deep, is evil. It's the devil will start lying to you that, okay, no, you know, what is it about this person self? You have to be this type of way, you have to. And sometimes we even see it in the hierarchy, in the working environment, even in family. Okay, this is what this is how I am in my family. Like, my mom knows that when I say something, this is how she takes it. Like, even my sister, when she wants advice, when I tell her something, this is how she takes it. Imagine that I was a nonsense person, or I don't even respect myself, or I'm just, you know, anyhow, and the rest. I don't think they will take it. But when you come off as, you know, they know, sometimes they will say, Joyce, Kenana, Wasa, you are. Like, when they are playing, you know, you
become serious.
You'll be hard, you'll be so serious, and the rest. No, I tell them this: if I am not like this, I don't think you will believe me when I say some things. Or if I don't act this way, and you see that I'm acting this way, I don't think when I tell you, you know, based on my experience, you even believe to want to see or want to do it some certain type of way. So over familiarity, sometimes to stop it, you have to grow yourself. You have to groom yourself. You don't have to blame people that even disrespect you. It starts with you.
Wow, familiarity is a terrible thing. When you become too familiar with something that is watering you as a plant, that thing can decide not to water you. It can decide to choke you till you die. Because most of the people who get familiar, they get familiar with the source of their blessings. They get familiar with the source of their living. They get familiar with the things that make them who they are. But you know what? When you disrespect something that makes you, that thing will cease to make you. And when it ceases to make you, you have ceased to become the person that you want to be in life. Please do not be over or too familiar with something that you once look up to, no matter what that thing or that person has turned to become. Thank you for watching today's live on Echo Television Africa. You followed on Facebook and you made comments, and we are grateful. On behalf of every staff and crew and Echo executive, we are grateful for watching the show. We would see you tomorrow with another interesting topic. But before then, be kind to one another. Thank you everyone who made this show possible and nice to watch. Have a great day. See you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Bye-bye.